Hey there, guys. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. It seems like some more information has come out with what's going on in Maui. Um, I got this information from another content creator. Uh, Before I begin with this, just want to say thank you to everybody who has subscribed and checked out my videos. Just a quick note: my last video that I put out about the Attorney General in California, that his practices of the agenda he wants to push through. It seems like I've offended some of my subscribers and they unsubscribed, and that's fine. That's fine. Because this is the way I see it. When it comes to the kids and protecting them, if anybody has a problem with that, I don't want your subscription. If you're against protecting children at all cost, especially with this, with the sexualization of them in school and taking them away from their parents, with the attorney generals and governors and mayors and school boards, if they think that keeping secrets from the children's family, from their parents, is okay, I want nothing to do with you. So with that being said, to anybody else that has subscribed to me and is still on, thank you. And let it be known that there's people out there that are for that agenda. It just seems to be very sickening these days. But with that, please comment, like, subscribe, tell your friends, pass on my channel. This is about more lies coming from Maui. Very disturbing, and like I said before, I've lost all faith that that there might have been a possibility where just maybe this is exactly what everybody's saying about it. All this happening because of a hurricane, but there's just too much information coming out, and more is coming out. So let's get this going.
Are you starting to connect the dots yet? That's the question we need to be answering. The media is telling all of us that the death toll will remain a mystery for some time now. It's been 3 weeks since the Maui fire massacre, and we're all still left with the same questions. Where are the missing children? What happened to the kids? How many of them perished?
Now we're hearing reports that over 2,000 children right now are unaccounted for in Lahaina public schools 2 weeks following the fire, and this is according to the Hawaii State Department of Education. This is not according to a TikToker. This is not according to Twitter. This is according to the Hawaii State Department of Education, who is documenting who's showing up in school and who isn't. So for anybody out there that tries to snoop, so will come out here and they'll try to say, well, we're fact checking this with our BS meter and we're going to just automatically deflect on any stories about it. Well, then maybe you should turn to the people you look up to the most, which is the government, who are even admitting in Hawaii that over 2,000 children have not shown up yet to school. Now, we all obviously have heard reports from so many people in Maui, so much so that even local media outlets have picked up on the story, claiming that the numbers that they're giving in regards to the amount of people missing is nowhere near. In fact, the number seems to be edging closer to the amount of people that we lost on the 11th of September. Yet you don't hear this pumped and pushed as a national tragedy. Why? Well, too many people were too suspicious of what they saw with their own eyes.
2,000 children are missing with no answers yet, and they...
Well, that's what I've been putting out, and that's where everything is pointing to, that there's too many people missing. On one of my last videos, I think the number, me personally, I think the number is well over 2,000. If I had to guess, I think the number is about 3,000. And I say that because most of them are children and the rest of them are parents. And if I had to guess, a lot of the parents try to get away from work, shoot over to the house, grab their kids, and by the time they got the kids and left, it was too late. And this is what people are not understanding, that this is something bigger than what the powers that be are saying, and they're trying to cover it up. But this video gets better, so let's continue.
They keep trying to shrink that number down and minimize it without any justification. Mainstream media is not showing you the actual terror and tragedy the Lahaina, Maui, Hawaii fire victims went through.
It's really bad out here. It's really bad. People are finding whole families in cars that are just charcoaled and fried. My best friend Michelle, her brother's family just in the car. They find the car and they find mom and dad in the front seat and the 3 kids in the back. The other bad thing is school was out that day that the fire raged through Lahaina. So parents were at work and all the kids were at home. So there's massive amounts of children who perished.
As Hurricane...
Now, I just want to touch upon that real quickly. You know, now we see this video with this woman talking, and I was saying in all my other videos of how I feel that I believe that children were taken, and this is why. If you looked at some of my earlier videos, you'll see that some of the cars that were charred, there was like red or green X's on them. I've known for a long time that when they do stuff like that, it's because they found remains. Okay? Because you look at the cars and some of them will have it, some of them won't. Which tells me that maybe the ones that didn't, there was nobody in the cars, they probably got out. The ones that were, they couldn't get out. But this woman is saying that they found her friend's brother, I believe she said, the whole family. So they found remains. My thing is this. If the fire was that intense to turn many of these cars, I mean literally to powder and liquefy them, what makes it any different that they found remains in the car? And if all these children were indoors, why haven't they found more remains? This is why I believe, okay, that something happened where a lot of these kids were taken. And I know it's going to ruffle a lot of feathers. Remember, these are my opinions, okay? But more and more of the truth is going to come out. So you'll see in the video who had a lot to gain with this and who owned a lot on Maui. It's sickening, and it just keeps adding up and adding up and adding up. But let's continue.
Dahlia arrived in Florida, we saw residents being told to hurry up, fill up their gas tanks before it arrives. Then they alerted everyone that the gas was contaminated with diesel fuel. Diesel fuel in a regular engine means those vehicle engines are suddenly going to die as the people try to escape and flee the hurricanes.
See, now this is very disturbing. I'm going to research on this because I have lots of family and friends in Florida. And if that's the case, I don't see how that could, maybe in one gas station that could have happened with somebody bringing in the gas to fill up the tanks, could have happened. But if this is on a mass scale, people need to definitely, after this whole thing is over, and I pray that the hurricane, doesn't claim any lives, but cars are destroyed because of the diesel fuel in their tanks. And for as much as I am a supporter of Florida, it doesn't matter. People need to be held accountable just for this already as it is. So my prayers go out to everyone in Florida right now that if this is true what they're saying about the gasoline being like they used diesel instead of regular gasoline, whichever way they did it, and these cars start dying, I truly hope that this is all over the news so people can get in their cars and do what they got to do. That is not a simple mistake. Like I said, if it happened in one gas station, that's understandable. But if these gas trucks came in and they were all like that, then that was set from the beginning. And if that's the case, there are some evil people trying to disrupt society as it is right now. So people need to pay attention, and like I always say in all my videos, stay vigilant. Don't be afraid. Speak up. Stand strong. Evil will not win. Remember that. But let's continue.
Maui, no water, no power, no sirens. It's just weird. It doesn't make sense. Then now, British Columbia, same thing. Not letting him go in, not letting him go out, not letting people volunteer to help. They also don't have water. It's a mess. And now we have Florida. An accident, so they tell them to go get gas to prepare for this hurricane so they can get out of there. They go get this gas, and it's all diesel. And everybody wants to pretend like it's a coincidence. It's not. Only Florida, the areas where they need to be evacuated, now those people broken down on the highways. It's just a coincidence, right? Just a coincidence. Come on. Please, seriously, just look at it yourself.
It seems we have to look out for ourselves, as the battle is between good and evil at this point.
What are we to do? What have we become but a nation of destructive behavior? This is now a war against all of us.
Do you think we're bad guys? Just honest question. I've been thinking a lot about this lately.
I think there are a lot of bad people in our government.
If you look at this from a 60,000 foot view, you look at the world and you look at all the that the U.S. has intervened in, and now with the way the internet and the access to information we have, it's starting to paint another picture.
Maniacs, these demon-possessed maniacs running the West, are determined to dominate the world, even if it means the destruction of the planet, the death of 1 to 2 billion people. They don't care.
Earlier this week, we saw Maui County filing a lawsuit against Hawaiian Electric. Now we see Hawaiian Electric blaming Maui County officials for their inadequate response, and even said,
see, like I was saying in my last video again, that they're trying to divert the blame on Hawaiian Electric. And Hawaiian Electric is like, no, we're not taking this heat for this. And you'll see why they're trying to divert the blame to Hawaiian Electric. Check this out.
Said there was no electricity flowing through the wires in that area. That's right. Hawaiian Electric said it had de-energized all of its power lines in Maui hours before the devastating wildfires broke.
So there you go. So if that's the case, if that is true, then why were the police stopping people from leaving Front Street, saying that there was power lines down and that it was dangerous? You'll see on my last video the aerial view, okay, that was taken by drone before the media blackout, how the cars were going up Front Street and they stopped, and ahead of the cars the roads were clear. This was all coordinated, people. This was all coordinated. And there's evil people, like the guy said, that are evil, demon-possessed people out there trying to destroy. And that's exactly what it is. The battle that we fight is not against flesh and blood. It's against good and evil. It's a spiritual battle. Evil wants to control this planet. Evil people out there want to destroy other people. Keep that in mind.
Broke out.
You understand, Hawaii Electric, Hawaii Power announced today that they cut power to the lines 6 hours. Their stock is on a freaking tear. The reason the stock was on a tear is that they think the liabilities are going away. They cut the power in Maui 6 hours before the fire. This Maui thing, I'm telling you, there's something not right. There's something not right. For 3 weeks, and here's the thing. They knew, and authorities knew they cut the power 3 weeks ago. So why are we just hearing it today?
So once again, the government is lying about the power lines being the cause of the fire. The electric company said its power lines were turned off 6 hours before the deadly blaze began. We now need to take a look at who's behind Hawaiian Electric. Taking a look at the top shareholders, and once again, we see
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Vanguard Group, BlackRock, Nordia, and State Street. Is that one hell of a coincidence? And the rumor is that BlackRock, when they own companies, they destroy them. They own the real estate, but they destroy the companies, and they do whatever they want. They come and they take over. If all that is true, these are very wicked people behind these companies. These are evil, evil people. Okay? These are not people being told what to do by their higher ups. No, these are evil people in control of these companies. I'm sure that people on YouTube have heard of these companies before. They're surrounded by nothing but just bad intentions. I mean, nothing good comes out of anybody's mouth about these companies. But let's continue.
Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street. What are the odds that BlackRock is not only behind the electric company, but is also behind the second largest holder of land on Maui and behind the largest land grab in history that is currently taking place? Oh, and also, what are the odds that BlackRock owned banks on Maui? They were all miraculously spared from the fires. So BlackRock failed to update the power lines and trim back trees, even though there is a specific page dedicated entirely to tree trimming safety on Hawaiian Electric's very own website. Brian Deese, a former BlackRock investment executive, serves on the National Economic Council. The former chief of staff to BlackRock's chief executive is also a top official at the Treasury Department. Previously sitting as the global chief investment strategist at BlackRock, Michael Pyle is now the chief economic advisor to Vice President Kamala Harris.
Does that ring a bell? If anybody remembers, in my last couple of videos, I've been saying, where's Kamala Harris? Where's Kamala Harris? Where's Kamala Harris? Not a word from her. She hasn't gone to Maui. Biden came and fell asleep during one of the, he displayed one of the most despicable acts. By falling asleep during one of their ceremonies, as if it was just boring to him. If all this is true, and all these men, women, and children perished because of this, I tell you, we need Jesus. Let's continue.
3 also worked with the Obama administration. Former BlackRock executive Eric Van Nostrand joined the U.S. Treasury Department as well. In the past, we've seen the CEO of BlackRock, Larry Fink, say this.
It's just, you have to force behaviors. And if you don't force behaviors, whether it's gender or race or just any way you want to say the composition of your team, you're going to be impacted.
For the first time in history, there's been an emergency proclamation by a governor even before there's an actual emergency.
Green has declared a housing emergency. The proclamation is designed to push through Hawaii's regulatory red tape, but some groups are alarmed.
Governor Green says it's time to get aggressive on housing.
We're waiving some of the restrictions on the amount of land that that historically was, allowable for building, because we just want to get going.
The working group would not be subject to sunshine laws.
I'm just very disappointed and really alarmed.
For the first time in history, I believe, there's been an emergency proclamation by a governor before there's an emergency. Josh Green on July.
I told you, people. They're all in on it. The chief of police, the mayor, the governor. Why would he push something like that weeks before what happened at Maui? They work in the shadows. They build it up. They get their agenda going, and then they implement their plan. That's why I said I'm totally convinced that, you know what, this had nothing to do with a hurricane. Not at all. This was all pre-planned. And people could say whatever they want. Born and raised in the Bronx, New York. I was down in Manhattan on 9/11, and in the beginning with all the chaos and all that, but within a few days, within a week, everybody's attitude changed. We knew that there was something amiss. And I know that to this day people say you shouldn't say that, because listen, bullshit. I don't care, bullshit. You cannot tell my mind and my eyes what to see and believe. Okay? Plain and simple. You could keep repeating yourself and hope that I believe it. But you can't have it. You can't have it.
July 17th, 3 weeks before the fire, issued an emergency proclamation which gave blanket powers to people to go in and work on getting development projects for, you guessed it, his state. But this is a very, very dangerous precedent. Also, it begs to question what is going on. Why would someone do that? Why would this guy do that? What is the purpose of that? Start waking up. You're going to find out that there are some very, very nefarious things going on that are alarming. And they are worse, by the way, than Larry Ellison, the owner of Lanai. They're worse than the billionaires like Oprah and Bill Gates. They're actually worse than that. They're deeper than that. But it's time to wake up and understand that there's some really strange things going on that don't add up. And this is scary for America, and it's a wake up for the entire nation.
Maui Police Chief John Pelletier has resurfaced just long enough to compare the loss of Lahaina to losing a leg.
Yeah, Maui's Police Chief John Pelletier compares the loss of Lahaina to losing a leg. He says you can put a prosthetic on, you can learn to walk again, you can even learn how to run again, and you can have an incredible life, but it will never be the same.
The men and women of this department, the men and women of the fire department, they swore oaths to save lives, and that's what they did. The problem is our community lost so many. And when it's man versus nature, nature has always won.
What do you want to tell?
You see, I disagree with him on that. When he says when it comes to man versus nature, nature is always won. You know, in this day and age of technology, you'll see that more people are actually getting updates and precautions in order to get away from natural disasters, hurricanes, tornadoes, stuff like that. I mean, we're talking second by second, minute by minute coverage whenever there's heavy storms coming around, where it saves people's lives. For him to come out and say that, it's just wrong. They had the ample time. Okay? The person in charge of their water supply cut it off. Okay? The person that was in charge of the sirens did not implement the sirens. Okay? Those two factors right there, just those two things right there, could have saved hundreds of more lives. So don't come out with your bullshit saying that nature always wins. Okay, God didn't give us brains to learn these technologies, okay, to use for nefarious reasons and then blame it on nature. Like I said before, and I'll say it again, there's a lot of people involved. This man is one of them. The mayor is one of them. The governor is one of them. The guy that was in charge of the water, he's one of them. You even have some of the police on video, okay, captured by camera, on video by people's cell phones, turning them away and them saying blatantly, straight out, I got my orders from higher up. The next question that needs to be asked to this man, who gave those orders? But let's continue.
Your men and women who might be watching this.
Oh, there's not enough thanks. No, I love them.
Sounds like you're kind of
I love them.
Emotional.
Oh.
What's going through your mind?
It's my job. It's my job to protect them and care for them, appreciate them, make sure nobody messes with them.
Remember, this is the same guy who said this.
Every data point is going to be scrubbed and looked at, and
every data point is going to be scrubbed. Direct quote. I mean, these people are literally telling on themselves. Again, just listen to what Hawaiian Governor Josh Green said.
Within 6 hours, 6 hours, 6 hours.
That's going to do it for today's video. If you feel...
You know, this is just totally disgusting. Hats off to my man right here. He has his YouTube channel, Hustle Bitch. Him and his team, they really put a lot of info together, and they've been digging deep. You know, this whole thing is just bad what they've done. I truly believe, you know, many more lives could have been saved. My opinion is, I think more kids are missing for reasons other than the fire itself. And that's just my opinion. I mean, if people, you know, can't accept that, you know, that's fine. You know, everybody has their own right to think and believe what they want. But things are just pointing just in the wrong direction. Too many things are pointing in the wrong direction, and it's coming full circle. It's like it's all boiling together. And there has been, I put a video out 2 days ago, I believe, that people are saying that BlackRock has come in to survey, the area. So just keep it in mind that, and it's going to come out soon. That there's information coming out all day, every day. If BlackRock's name comes up to buy that area, then we know who was behind all it, and we know that definitely this had nothing to do with hurricane winds and power lines that came down. Because the proof is there that the electric company saying that they cut the power off. I mean, look, they're going to keep blaming each other. One side is going to fold and say the truth. And I keep saying that there is proof out there, undeniable proof. There is a cell phone out there with the video. It's just that whoever owns it doesn't know it, doesn't have the phone on their person because maybe something happened to them, or they're just too afraid to show it. But it will come out. In this day and age of technology, the cell phone worldwide is the government worldwide's worst enemy. That's why they're trying to control cell phone companies, the media. They're trying to control all that. But anyway, hope you like what you've seen. Please comment, subscribe. Help me get some more viewers. Pass it along, give it a thumbs up, tell your friends. And as always, stay vigilant, keep praying, and keep praying for each other. Peace.